I'm Brandy and welcome to Main Ingredient, where we are introducing one of Atlanta's finest chefs as well as restaurateur Athena Italian Bistro, located in the historic College Park, as well as Social, located in downtown Atlanta. Welcome, Jaleel Chakali.
Thank you very much, Brandy. I'm very excited to be here.
Good. I am so excited that you are here because you have a very diverse background, which is going to allow us to see a lot of things when we're in the kitchen. We are going to talk about, well, I know you're going to touch base on Italian dishes, French, Asian, American. You're going to give us a whole spectrum of what to do in the kitchen. But before we get into that, I don't want to spill the beans or anything. You have this whole little accent thing going on. Tell us about that.
My background, actually, I was born and raised in France from Tunisian parents.
Okay.
And I've been in the States now for the past 10 years. And I lived in New York for a little bit, worked for different chefs, and moved down here to open up a restaurant with my brother.
Okay.
And we had the first location called Fina that's been open for 4 years. And we just recently opened up a new restaurant called Social, which is downtown, as you mentioned earlier.
Okay. I've been to Fina's.
You have?
Wonderful.
Really?
Yes, definitely.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
So I recommend that. Okay, so you know how to speak French?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so say something in French.
On y va.
And that means?
Let's get started.
Let's get started. I'm ready to get started. I'm hungry. Let's go. So we are going to cook what today?
Today we are preparing one of my favorite recipes. It's actually a very healthy recipe, and it's a version of lasagna, which is a vegetable lasagna, cooked with fresh, summery ingredients. So it's fresh, healthy, and delicious. And
so when you talk about fresh, where exactly do you go to get your vegetables?
Well, this morning I got up early, and I went to the farmer's market, and I picked the best vegetables that I could see. And
when you are picking vegetables, just give us a little bit of heads up. What are we looking for? Because like I see you have zucchini and eggplant. Yes. I'm not an eggplant person, so tell us, how would I pick an eggplant?
The most important thing is the way the vegetable looks. It has to be looking fresh and kind of firm. You want to feel on the vegetables and feel that it's firm and you know.
Okay. Well, I'm ready to get started. We've already talked about the fresh vegetables, so let's talk about the other ingredients.
Okay, so to make this lasagna, we have some dried oregano.
Okay.
Dried basil, diced tomatoes.
I'm gonna help you out here.
Fresh mozzarella, fresh grated Parmesan cheese, and ricotta cheese.
So next we have the noodles, as I would call them.
Yeah, those are actually ridged lasagna sheets.
Okay.
And I just cooked them off in boiling water. Added some salt to it and a dash of oil.
And that oil and salt does what?
Actually, the salt will actually prevent them from overcooking, and the oil will prevent from sticking to each other.
Okay, yeah, because mine always sticks.
Okay, so what you do basically, you bring water to a boil, throw your lasagna in there, salt, pepper, and wait until the pasta is cooked. You can see that I don't want to overcook it because you don't want it to get too mushy once it's cooking in the oven.
Right.
But you want it just kind of firm as well. So as I'm finishing up cutting the vegetables, could you please grab the olive oil and heat some up in the pan?
Okay, and how much do I need to put in there?
I would say about 1/4 cup. Yeah, that should do it. The last thing I'm finishing up to chop up is the fresh garlic.
Okay.
That I have peeled previously. And what I'm going to do, once the oil is nice and hot, I'm going to take all my ingredients over.
Okay.
And I'm going to use you again to hold this for me.
Okay.
And we're going to start off with the onions.
Oh, geez.
That's what you want to hear, the little sizzling.
Oh, that's a good thing.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Start with the onions.
Okay.
Excuse me. Add the garlic.
So what do you put it on? Medium?
I would say medium.
Okay.
So what you want to do is caramelize the onions, get all the sweetness out of the onions.
Okay.
Brown the garlic a little bit. And then we're going to grab the zucchini.
Okay.
Dump it in there. Salt and pepper. Here we go.
Smells really good.
Yes, so once it's halfway cooked, what we're gonna do is add our spices.
Okay.
I'm gonna add the dry basil.
And is there a certain amount you use?
I would say about 2 pinches.
Okay, a couple pinches.
The dried oregano. I get some fresh thyme that I can use as well. If you don't mind bringing it to me.
You want the whole?
Yeah, you can about 4 sprigs.
Okay.
And you put it right into the pan. We're gonna put them whole in there and just remove them before we put them in the oven.
Put them in there now?
Fresh thyme.
It smells really good. So when you talk about, you said turning something down.
Cooking something down?
Yes, cooking it down.
To get the vegetables soft enough and make sure all the vegetables release their natural waters.
Okay.
And flavors.
So it'll be soft. They'll be soft,
correct.
basically.
And then we're gonna add our chopped tomatoes.
Okay.
It's gonna give a beautiful color.
So just that little bit of olive oil was good enough.
We're gonna reduce the heat a little bit.
Okay. That looks so good. I'm ready to eat already.
Okay. And I'm gonna season the whole vegetables too.
Okay.
With fresh ground pepper. And today I'm using sea salt. I like to use sea salt. It's a very nice salt.
Is that healthier for you?
It's healthier, it's natural.
Now I know a little bit later we'll get into wines. What's good to serve with this particular dish?
Yeah, I brought a nice Pinot Noir today.
Okay.
I think that's very elegant and kind of soft, so it wouldn't overwhelm the vegetable.
Okay.
You can see you have beautiful colors. It's very summery. You get some yellow, some green, some red.
And this is healthy. This is great.
Yeah, and then basically what it is, it's a vegetable stew. So what you want to do, turn on the heat for maybe up to medium.
Okay.
And you want to simmer it for about, I would say, 25 minutes.
Do you have to put the lid on or no?
I wouldn't. Yeah, I was just going to do that.
Okay.
It's right behind you. If you don't mind putting it on top.
Okay.
And let it cook.
Awesome. How long do you let it cook for?
Probably 25 minutes. You don't want to overcook the vegetables since they're going to be put in the oven again.
Okay.
So you don't want it to be too mushy or too soft. So you still want to get some of that texture in the vegetables.
Okay. And once we put it in the oven, how much time are we looking at?
Well, what we need to do is probably, I'm going to show you how to layer it into the pan.
But once you put it in there and let it go, how much time?
I would say 35 minutes.
35 minutes, okay.
You want the cheese to melt and get kind of gooey and get all the vegetables and all the cheese melting together.
Okay.
So after 10 minutes, this has been stewing. What you want to do is remove the lid. Make sure you don't burn yourself.
Okay.
Stir it around.
That looks so good.
And I'm going to try not to burn you.
Oh, that's hot.
To burn you. What does it need? Salt, pepper?
Perfect. It's perfect.
Is it?
It's perfect. Seriously.
Okay. So what you do after this, let it cook for probably another 15 minutes.
Okay.
And we'll be ready to assemble the lasagna.
The lasagna. Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about lasagna, the word lasagna. Where does that come from?
Well, people say that the word lasagna refers to the pot itself, where you cook the ingredients in it.
The actual dish?
Yes, the actual dish. And then it evolves to actually preparation that's cooked inside the pot. That's pretty much layered. Oh,
wow. So it kind of turned into the actual ingredients, because that's what I'm familiar with, it just being the noodles and the layers.
Exactly.
Okay.
But, you know, the origin of the word is actually the pot itself.
Wow. That's interesting. It's amazing where things originate from.
Yeah. Okay, so after 25 minutes, you go back to your pot. Make sure this is all nicely cooked. And what you want to do, it's looking pretty good right now.
Okay.
So pretty much what you want to do, take your pot, take it off the stove, and pretty much let it cool down for 5 minutes so you don't burn yourself once you start making your lasagna.
And this is a good point to talk about the wine, as far as what's a good wine to coordinate with this meal.
Yeah.
And I saw you brought something good for us.
That's correct.
So tell us a little bit about why this is a good wine to use with this meal.
I thought that Pinot Noir would be appropriate for this recipe.
Okay.
So Pinot Noir is usually a softer wine that's slow in tannin and a nice fruit forward. So it'd be delicate enough to, to match with the vegetables.
Do you serve that cold, chilled, or warm?
Pinot Noir, as a matter of fact, you're right, could be chilled slightly before you drink it, especially in a nice hot summer day.
Okay. Now, I have to tell you, I'm not a wine drinker per se. I mean, I find red wines very bitter. So is this something that...
Actually, a Pinot Noir is a good introduction to people that don't drink wine that much because they're usually soft and kind of fruity.
Okay.
So you don't get too much of the bitterness of the wine.
Okay.
So maybe,
So hopefully this will be something I'm going to like. I hope
Shall we open it and try it?
Yeah.
And while we're talking about wine, I just want to give you another secret, then open up a bottle of wine in front of you and show you how.
Okay, cool.
So I use just a traditional wine key.
Okay.
I'm not a big fan of those screwing things.
Okay.
I'm more of a traditional kind of guy. So what you do, you grab your bottle. It's always good to have it sitting on something.
Okay.
You remove the capsule from the bottom, from the top, I'm sorry.
Oh, that looks easy for you. It doesn't look,
years of experience. You're talking about years of experience. Screw that thing down.
Now, what are the bottles that you always see that pop and go everywhere?
Well, there's one thing that's actually considered very rude in the restaurant business is to pop the bottle.
It's rude.
The quieter, the better.
Okay.
So it's 2 steps on those wine keys.
That's another secret.
Those wine keys.
That's
so
a
you
good
go
secret.
1, 2, 3.
Awesome.
There it's open.
Okay. So we're going to taste this. I'm going to taste a little bit of this, and then we're going to come back and talk about desserts. We'll be right back.